Hello lovelies, this is Chrissy Cooking at Home. I'm Chrissy. I said in one of my previous videos, and I do not know which one, that I would do up a video the next time I made meatballs that I was going to can. I got inspired to can meatballs. One of the many first things I did that first month of canning in July was can meatballs from Sutton's Daze. Lisa had done a video where she had done it in packed meatballs in beef broth and some in a marinara sauce and canned them. It's pressure canning. I did basically the same thing. She just put, I believe it was onion powder and mushroom powder in her ground meat. I did get some ground meat on sale, $2.99 a pound. Hello, yeah. 10-pound log. I pulled off a pound for another meal. Weighed it out. Get that going. And for this, I don't pack it in broth because she packed it in broth because she doesn't add salt. I add a little salt to my meat, and I found that we liked that. And then I added the onion powder, but I also did garlic powder and Italian seasoning. This will be the 4th time I'm canning meatballs, and that's the blend we seem to really like. And it works well for all things, you know, spaghetti and meatballs, meatball sobs, Swedish meatballs. All I do is just make the Swedish gravy and cook the egg noodles. Ta-da! Swedish meatballs. So I use my salt, my kosher salt, because I'm canning. So it's my witch's grade poison. It's backwards to you, I know, but it says poison, witch's grade, used with caution. As you should with salt. Use with caution. Kosher salt can become overwhelming, so we don't need a whole lot. And then I have 9 pounds of ground beef. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this up. I'm going to put them on my half sheet baking sheet. I'm going to bake them in the oven at 375 for about 20-25 minutes. And then pull them out, let them rest a bit. Then plop them in wide mouth quart jars and pressure can them. Probably going to have to do more than one load, but that's okay. The more meatballs I have on my shelf, the better, because I did promise Logan meatball subs, which I was able to get on sale. Fresh bakery, so I don't have to do it. Some nice French bread. Very crusty. In here. Very hard and crusty. Beautiful. It was on bakery markdown. So I got this whole loaf for only $1. What it used to be before inflation. Well, $1. Now they're $2. So I'm going to get this going, and then I'll bring you back when I'm getting ready to can them, because that's all there is. I'm going to add seasoning till it looks right to me. What you can do when you're making your meatballs or meatloaf, is a lot of people do, is after they've added some seasonings, pull off a little piece, kind of flatten it out a little bit like a teeny weeny burger so it cooks really fast. Put it in a small skillet, cook it off till it's done, pull it out, let it cool a bit so you don't burn your mouth, and then taste it and see what you need to adjust, if you need to adjust anything. Sometimes I do that if I'm not feeling well and I feel like foggy brain. I'll do a taste test before I make my meatballs and cook them, or meatloaf, or, you know, things like that. I'll pull off, but I'm feeling really good. I had a nice long nap today, which is helping because I've been under the weather a little bit. Just life, you know. Okay, so I will bring you back. Okay, I almost forgot to bring you back. I got so enthralled in what I was doing. I'm not canning all the meatballs. We're gonna have meatball subs tonight. That'll be tomorrow, but that's okay. It just, the meatballs smell too good baking. I got the water in. Just gonna jiggle the meatballs around a little bit. On average, it's about 24 meatballs per jar. I'm gonna get 1 canner load. It's not a full canner load, but it's 1 canner load, 1 inch. Of these in, which is, I got 5 quarts. And that's good. Just going through one more time. Make sure we don't have any bubbles. Use your debubbler. I'll link Lisa's video. I just use water instead of the broth because I season my meatballs and I don't want them to become over salted. And I found that the meatballs packed in water, the meatballs flavor the water into its own broth. And I'll make a brown gravy out of it. It's fantastic. I got the canner over here warming up. That's a little too full. And then I just have to clean the rims and then get them in the canner, and then I can finish making dinner. So I got potato wedges in the oven to go with dinner. That should do it? Yep. Really greasy. I didn't get the kind I usually like to get because honestly, you can afford $5, $6, $7 a pound right now. Especially when you're buying, 10, 20 pounds at a time. I have my fancy, fantastic 4-jar lids. And into the pressure canner. And that's basically it. Means you're going to pressure can for 90 minutes or an hour and a half once it's up to pressure. You know what I mean? I mean, if you've canned before, you know what I mean. Just using the vinegar on my rims with some paper towel because this was 80-20 beef, so definitely want to make sure, try and get the fat off there so we will have a seal. I know sometimes it looks like I'm really cranking it on there, but I'm not. I know because I've only ever had lids buckled once, and that was some cheapy ones from Amazon. They buckled in hard. Not hard. They buckled in pressure canning. They buckled in water bath canning. And I sent them back. Didn't matter how tight or how loose. They buckled. Every last one of them. So, in my opinion, 5 quarts of meatballs. Put the rest of my lids over here. Here. This is garbage. Garbage sink. Wipe that down. This is the rest of the meatballs. We're going to turn into little meatball subs. Got some mozzarella cheese. I got some of that marinara sauce. That stuff. So, bring it over to the burner. I know this canner likes. I know that sounds weird saying it that way, but it's true. Seems like the front two are supposed to be like those super burners. But it seems like the one on the right is even more super than the one on the left. And the one on the left, if I have it on medium to bring it up to steam so I can vent it for 10 and then leave it on medium to come up to pressure, I don't have seepage. I found the sweet spots. So I'm going to keep it that way, but I do have to try to gauge that it's centered on the burner as much as possible. There. Perfect. All right, it's on medium. It's going. So this is just some leftover meatballs. Oops. Potatoes. They're almost done. Got some smoky garlic potato wedges in the oven cooking. just cut up some white potatoes and put on smoky garlic, smoked paprika, garlic, onion powder, and salt, and put that on the potatoes with a little bit of oil, and then I put that same seasoning inside mix it into some sour cream to dip the potato wedges in. It's fantastic. So I'm gonna get dinner going. That is that. I'll bring you back when they come out. When they're all done. It's gonna be a few hours. So 4:08. I might make it to bed on time tonight. Okay. Hello, lovelies. Guess what? It's been a couple of days. I just spaced it. Just completely spaced it. I have not been feeling well. Not doing the greatest. But that's okay. I see one of my many doctors today. I see another doctor next week. I saw a doctor last week and another doctor the week before that. But after next week, I don't have another appointment until, I guess, the week after that. Trying to picture the calendar in my head. And then, depending on which tests which doctors want to run, will determine how soon I go back to see certain doctors. Like one doctor has ordered blood work, usual. Depending on the blood work, she may want another MRI. Yay. Hate those. Hate those. Because I shake. And trying to lay still on a hard table so they can do an MRI of my brain and cervical spine is hard. And they tell you, you're moving, stop moving. I can't help it. It's called tremors. I can't help it. Knock me out then. I don't know what to tell you. Been that way for 10 years, so nothing new there. So I finished the meatballs, and there was an issue. I haven't gone back yet to look at when I cleaned my rims. How well did I do? Because 2 jars did not seal. And I remember I was talking to you when I was doing it, and I was using a new dishcloth that I had gotten instead of my usual paper towels with the vinegar. But this was some oily beef. I mean, oily beef. It was not the usual 90-10 that I like to get. I can't afford it when the 80-20 is $3 a pound. I mean, 80-20 is not bad. Anything more than 20% fat, I will not buy, no matter what the price is. No. So I don't know what happened. So I caught it before 12 hours. So I just removed the rings and the lids and got fresh lids. And the problem was that we had a lot of loss. I don't know if you call that siphoning or seepage or what, but can you see a lot of liquid loss? I had it up to here and I measured them. This is the worst one. I was putting my labels on when I realized, silly, you didn't finish your video. So then I went and I cleaned those and I set them aside, and then I went ahead and just did these 2 in the pressure canner by themselves. Not a full load. I don't care. I wanted these canned. I didn't want to freeze them. And I didn't have plans for them anytime soon. And they sealed. I was very thorough with my paper towel and the vinegar repeatedly. So they're better. This one is, I think, the best one I have ever done when it comes to meatballs. Like I said many times, very, 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 very new to canning. So I'm still screwing up in some places when I think I'm not. That's why I say, if you're going to follow anything I do, please go watch other people first. Please, pretty please. I will link Lisa Sutton from Sutton's Daze, the video that I learned how to can meatballs or got the idea to can meatballs, I will link her video. She does it 2 ways, which I thought was awesome. But you can see that my water that I put in turns this, can you see? I don't have any lights on, just the window. Turns this little brownish color to where it looks like broth. It's not clear. The meat and the flavorings I put in the meat, kind of tell better on this one, permeate this water and make it flavorful. Turn it into like meatball broth. Is that a thing? I don't know if that's a thing. But I was labeling them, and I loved, in the video I'm going to link, that she called them meat nuggets. I don't know if she called them delicious or delightful or something meat nuggets. And I just loved it so much that I now label my meatballs meat nuggets. You can't see that, that's backwards. It's kind of dark. I gotta lean. So yeah, there's my meatballs. Now, from what I understand, this does not have to be covered in water. It has to be sealed. What's going to happen though is these meatballs that are not covered in liquid will become discolored. I don't care about color because they're going to get covered in some kind of sauce or gravy anyways. So if they're not, you know, all the same color as like what's going to be in this jar, they're all going to be the same color because they're all covered. I don't care as long as they're safe to eat. That's all I care about. So that is the meatballs, or as Lisa calls them, meat nuggets. What's the other one she does that I love? Oh, Worcestershire sauce. She calls it what's-its-face sauce. On good days that I remember, I do call it what's-its-face sauce. I love that. She has little things like that that just, I don't know, tickle me. I find funny, and I like to use, like her ugly chicken, ugly pork, ugly beef. Love it. It's unique, you know, like meat nuggets. So yeah, I'm rambling because I don't feel good. I will edit this and get it up very soon. Yeah, that's it. Meat nuggets. Until next time, guys.